Welcome back, everyone. It's a great privilege for me to introduce His Eminence Cardinal Peter Turkson. He is the Chancellor of the Pontifical Academy of Sciences and a great personal friend. Thanks to his patronage and his willingness, we are here today to discuss artificial intelligence and human flourishing. And Cardinal Turkson would like to just say a few words of welcome to all of the participants.
So good morning. We agree that a few words should be just 3 words. Now it's to greet all of you and welcome you heartily to the working chamber of the Academy of the Sciences and Academy of the Social Sciences. We've got 2 of them which use this facility for their meetings. And just welcome you. I just briefly steal about 5 minutes of your time to just tell you about the Academy. They already started showing it. So the Academy of the Social Sciences and the Sciences of the Church begins with the name Pontifical. You have academies of arts and sciences in different countries and all. So this is the Academy of Sciences of the Vatican, of the Pope and all of that. And it began way back in 1603 with an initiative of a nephew of a cardinal, Cardinal Chancellor, who had his nephew collect a few scientists around himself, and they started meeting to talk about science. In 2010, Galileo became a member of the group. So it's a revolt.
Yeah.
Okay. So the young guy, Chessy is the young guy on the right. Galileo joined them in 1610 on the top there, and then shortly thereafter, with his telescope, he came out with the sun as the center of the universe and not the earth, and that caused all the problems you know about. So happily, Pope Pius IX reconciled it all, and I recognized Galileo had a point, and so reinstated Galileo in the Academy. So in those days, they call it the links. And several, in European countries, we hear about the Lincei, or the Lincei, or the lynxes and stuff. It was based on this proverbial or mythical animal in the middle, which is gifted with a lot of foresight, and so became the animal, the totem for all academic work and distinctions. So Galileo began, and Chessy began this. When Chessy died, they then went into a lull. And then from his initiative, the following initiatives began. There was soon thereafter, in 1657, the Academy of Sciences began in Florence, then in London in 1662, then in France in 1666, then in Berlin in 1700, and then went to Russia 1724. So it just says only one thing. For the Catholic Church, there's no tension between science and faith. Otherwise, we would not have generated this initiative and kept it going till this point. And so that's a big point that it makes, and the initiative began here and spread all over. So after Chelsea, this abbot took up the initiative and carried it forward, and was housed in Rome till Pope Pius IX took over. Under him, Vatican lost Rome as its city. Okay, Garibaldi descended upon Rome, and they liberated Rome and made it the capital of the Kingdom of Italy. And so the church and the papacy moved here into this small enclave that we now call the Vatican. And so all the, so the territories in Rome and all of that were lost to the Italian state. So all of that happened under him. And after his successor, Pius XI, built this small place. When you go down for lunch, you'll see the difference between the two structures. The older section of the building is on the on my right, that's where you have lunch, if you do have lunch here. Okay, so so you'd enjoy the artwork and everything from the 17th century. This part was built and tagged onto that in 1936 to provide space for the academicians when they come to to do work and to talk and to study, and that's what it's been. And the guy who built it, so this place is built on the left-hand corner of the picture you're looking at. The space behind that small tower, as it were, is where this structure is now located. So that provided space for the meeting of the academies when they do come together. And so this is the commissioning of the place. You pass through the entrance door this morning. And these are some of the scientists that we've had. Galileo, Marconi, the radio man. If you have a chance to walk through the gardens, you'd also see the tower where his first radio was tested. It's out here in the Vatican. If you have a chance to walk through the gardens, you'll see that. And then Alexander Fleming, Max Planck, all of these big names. The last one we have here is Hawkins, but it's not the last we have. Paul Crutzen is also famous these days for having come up with the Anthropocene concept. Okay, and one other figure who's not here is the one who also came up with the idea of the Big Bang Theory. That was a priest Lemaitre from Belgium. His butt is just standing out here. So this has been some figures of the Academy, and these are different profs who have served the Academy in the past. And in terms of subject matters, they deal with all of this: astronomy, life science, physics, and all of that, and the different subject matters. So it was like this until 1994, when Pope John Paul II thought that it wasn't enough to get the Academy of Sciences, we also need the Academy of the Social Sciences. So since 1994, we've had not only Academy of Sciences, but also the Academy of Social Sciences, and both of them operate within this facility. So those are some of the the academicians at work. Hawkins was in here once. His place was in the corner there, where you sit with his wheelchair. And so this is John Paul II starting the Academy of the Social Sciences, and he had it going. So this is what we work with, and we have a small team here that we direct that takes care of this administration and organizes and plans the events and welcomes the president of the event to plan the different schedules. Just last week, we did an event here on passage moving from the climate crisis to climate resilience, 3 days. And we decided not to invite governments, but mayors and governors who are, who operate on the ground. So we had, the governor of California here, we have the mayor of London, we have, Yokohama. From all over, we gathered them here to just talk about the need, to develop a climate resilience. And they left with a small document. We'll just put a copy here for your curiosity and for your interest if you want. So we do see for some of the articles and stuff we deal with. We did stuff on astrophysics a short while ago, and our next event coming up will be on the cancer research, and then neurotechnology to see what we do with the brain. So this is simply to just tell you about where you are and what the type of things we do, and probably with this, at the start, we'll also introduce your pictures among the pictures we have here. So welcome, and have a good time with us, and I hope you enjoy your stay. Thank you.